Hello and welcome to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on 10 Minutes More or Less Ship Review, right behind me, I have the RELIANT KORE, another starter ship, just without a starter pack. Let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. First, I really want to start off with a big thank you to everybody that has entered into the giveaway so far for the Avenger Titan. And like I said, if you don't own the game, I'll make sure to make it a starter pack so you can definitely have a copy of the game. Now, all the answers I'm seeing are really cool, seeing all those androids and robots and aliens that everybody's kind of found a fascination for or favorite in any sci-fi novel or movie, so that's really cool. Again, if you haven't entered down below. It's a really cool giveaway. Even if it's, even if you already have a Titan, it's still good to have, or heck, you can get it and melt it for something else. Anyways, moving on to the RELIANT KORE here. This is one of 4 different variants, and this is the base one. And given its price point, I consider it a starter ship, just like many of the other starters. Now, it doesn't have a starter pack. I believe it used to, but it doesn't anymore. And it's a really good ship, like a really good ship for the price range. Starting with that, price range is $65 if you were to pledge for it on the store. Now, if you don't go that route, you can buy it in-game at the city of Lorville on Hurston for $1,719,900. Now, that's definitely not a bad deal. It's a great ship, and it's actually one of the cooler ships in the game when it comes to what it can do. And I'm going to show you on screen right now. This ship is very crazy with the tech that it has, as it does take tech from Xi'an, and that allows the wings to rotate with the cockpit, as well as the engines being omnidirectional. It's very cool tech, and it's awesome to see. Now, that's not per se, I'd say, MISC has it, but I feel like Mirai, the sister brand of MISC, would be the better title for this ship. But either way, it's awesome to see, and I love to see it. And, not many ships have that. Not many ships do, and I really hope other ships in the future do have that, because it's really cool to see the wings go from this orientation to a standing tall orientation. It feels very Star Wars-y to me, and I enjoy that. Now, moving on, let's start with the damage that this ship does give. Now, stock, it's 640 damage. It's actually not bad. That's 3rd place in damage for the starter ships that I've already reviewed. 3rd place. That's actually really great. Out of 8 different ships, this thing takes 3rd in stock DPS, and that's because you have 4 CF227 Badgers on this ship, 1 under each wing, as well as 2 on the turrets here. Now, discussing potential upgrades really quick, I don't typically discuss it, but I do like to bring it up sometimes when a ship could gain a very big benefit from it. This ship also comes stock with a tractor beam at the end of the wing over there, which I don't really see the point of. I guess you could use this ship to assist on bigger ships loading their cargo. Sure. It doesn't really seem like the task that this ship would do it for. And given the tractor beam's location, I really don't see it being useful for loading cargo into your own hold back there. So you could swap this out for a Tashima turret and give yourself 2 more size 2 guns, giving you a total of 6 size 2 guns, which would be insane. Your DPS goes to about 1,000 if you were to use certain laser weapons, or if you do ballistics, you could potentially have more DPS. Now, in 3.23, ballistics are hit and miss, just as laser repeaters are hit and miss. All the weapons are undergoing a lot of balancing right now in master mode, so it's just about finding what's comfortable to you. If you like using laser repeaters with low capacitors, but they recharge a lot, great. They will do damage, it just takes a little bit of time. The time to kill has definitely gone up in 3.23, and same for ballistics. The damage has gone down, and the ammo count has gone up. Anyways, moving on, we do see that this ship does have 4 size 2 Ignite 2 missiles, which you can see 2 under each wing. Right there. Yay. And then outside of that, that's it for DPS and damage that this ship can do. But let's talk about, your defensive capabilities. This ship does come with a bubble shield, just like all starters typically do. Now, that's 3,000 shield strength. That's definitely not bad. It's average in the starter range of shields. Most of them have 3,000. There's a few with 1,500. So it's fantastic. That's a great shield amount to have. Could it be better? Sure. Could it be worse? Definitely. So 3,000, right in the middle. Good to go. Now, ship health-wise, it comes in second place out of the 8 ships that I've reviewed prior. This ship has 15,460 health points. And if you see on screen, the spread of that health points aren't too bad. It's not that bad at all. It's not like the Firebird where you have it spread among 50 different parts of the ship. So that'll really help you when you're in the middle of a battle. You're not going to lose, complete functionality right off the bat, which makes this ship quite the competitor in PvP or PvE. Keeping it like this, or even having it stand tall, its profile's very sleek. As you can see, it's very thin. So when you're facing a target, you're not giving them too much of I'd say, advantage of where they're going to hit you, because it's, they can shoot above or right below, and there's not much there, right? Some ships are very tall, or some ships are very thick, and that could cause a lot of hits to hit you, right? So that's something to, take into consideration, but it's a very flat target. So if someone gets above you or below you, be very wary of that. It's going to be, not a good time for you. Moving on, this ship does carry 6 SCU of cargo right here in the back, which is fantastic. This ship is considered a mini hauler of sorts, and I can see that. 6 SCU of cargo, that's pretty average for any of the starter ships out there. Typically, some of them are around, you got some of them around 4, some of them 3, a couple of them that are a little bit higher, like 8, or if you're talking about the Nomad, then you're sitting at 24, which is ridiculous, but what can you do? But 6 SCU of cargo for a $65 price range, or a $1.7 million UEC range, that's actually not bad at all. Now, it's complicated, right? Because you have cargo, you have a nice ship, but does it has its standards passed, like components and gold standard? No. And it's kind of barren, right? You don't have a weapons rack, you don't have any of your components, and that's pretty much it. You have your cargo here with some really interesting floorboards and headboards. The shaders on them are very weird. But you don't have access to your components or, any of that gold standard pass that you would hope to have on a ship like this. Like, it'd be great to have a weapons rack or, even a bed or something, right? But, obviously adding a bed or something like that is going to take away cargo. But it would still be nice to have a weapons rack and other functionalities of most starter ships out there, other than just a cargo hold with 6 SCU. But getting to that point, is this ship as a mini hauler supposed to be a ship that, goes a longer distance to do things? No, not really. And I'll say the biggest reason why is your top speed is not that great. You're sitting at a little bit below average on speed, 220 SCM and 480 forward boost, 250 backwards boost, and then 1150 or 1150 nav speed, which isn't great. It's kind of slow in the realm of other starter ships. And you also only have 612 quantum fuel. So you have to take that into consideration. You could do short jumps and short cargo runs, but this isn't a ship that you're supposed to live in. Can you live in it? Potentially. Someday when we can roll out a cot in the back there, sure, why not? Float around in space and just fall asleep in here and call it a day, right? But it's not really meant to be a ship that does that. It's meant to jump from one point to another within, a system and stay within that system. Maybe it could potentially do a system-to-system jump, but it's just going to be hard to do because you do have a low quantum tank, and then also your top speed is not something you want to get caught in if you, go against someone that's trying to get you. So, always something to consider there as well. Now, again, this is the base variant, so there are other variants of this ship that do other things and give you more range, and that's always something to consider too. If you spend more money and decide you want to go that route, you definitely could. Now, the base variant is the only variant typically available on the Pledge Store, so you'd have to buy the other variants in-game or wait until they're available on the Pledge Store during events like Invictus or, other events available later in the year during like CitizenCon and whatnot. Outside of that, that would be the Reliant Kore. It's a great ship by Misk. It's, a good starter pack, or not pack. It's a good starter ship. It's actually really cool, and I'm going to take off really quick and just take a look at this thing in air. Even though I've already showed you a lot of its rotational and the fact that it does have, oh man, did I mention that? I don't think I did. These engines are VTOL. So again, omnidirectional engines. That means they can move in multiple directions, and they're a lot more able to do that compared to other engines out there, right? So let's go ahead and close this door. Really cool little, back door here. And then we'll go ahead and sit down. As you can see, your Badgers here have 93 capacitor on a normal power out. So if I were to bring the power triangle up to all weapons, it brings it to 139 each. That's actually really good. I'd say this is quite the fighter, honestly, if you're facing other starter ships or even other light fighters. This isn't a bad ship to be in, honestly. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take off really quick. Let's get those engines online and then pull up the gear. I'm going to go ahead and hit K on my keyboard to rotate the engines to forward face. And then to go ahead and rotate the wings here, I'm going to press left Alt K, and that'll rotate your wings. It's really cool. Like I said, feels very Star Wars to me. Now, you do have a second seat in this ship, so you can have a passenger or a co-pilot of sorts, and that's actually really cool. So not only do you have 6 SCU, but you also have the ability to take your friend along. So if you're going to a bunker or, you're doing other missions, hey, you got yourself something that you can carry not only one person, but 2 people, let alone all the people you can shove into the back cargo room. Now, when you do rotate your canopy like this, that door is obviously inaccessible, so don't try. So you will have to left Alt K and rotate that back. Once you do, you can go ahead and access the back room. It's really cool. That is the RELIANT KORE, and honestly, if I was to give this thing a score, basically the only negative points that this ship truly has, in my opinion, because it feels cool. The ship feels cool. It flies nice. It's not terrible. It's a starter ship. The maneuverability isn't going to be top-notch. And the biggest negatives here is your speed, your quantum fuel tank, the very light amount of missiles, but I'm happy that it actually has them. So honestly, this ship, for being what it is at the price point that it is, this is a 9 out of 10 for me. And there's a lot of reasons behind that. Even if it doesn't have its components pass, this ship is still fantastic to fly, and it feels great, and it looks great, and there's just some sort of vibe about it that just wicked. What do you think of this ship? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you enter into the Titan giveaway, and thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all of you. You all are awesome, and I will see you guys in the next one.